Selamat pagi Abang Fadil.
Selamat pagi Kon.
Tengok Hoyo. Ini Yaris Jalan edition ni. Don't play. So so today Fadil and I will be going for the all new Toyota Yaris media drive. And Fadil, you continue bahasa Melayu kan?
Betul.
Bahasa Melayu, I'll do in English. You sendiri akan record your video kan for your channel?
Saya akan buat video untuk channel saya sendiri. So anda boleh tengok bahasa Melayu punya version dekat channel saya. So kita nak bawa Jananik pergi janda baik.
Ui, betul ke ni?
Bawa Jananik bawa punya balik kereta. Janda baik. Tak ada, kereta punya.
Kereta saja. Bro, kau dah breakfast Ya.
Kekenyangan.
So since now is green, let's come closer to each other. Pick up some speed. Not break the convoy.
Hei, Abang Fadil kat belakang pula sekarang.
Yes, sebab saya nak review bagaimana rasanya duduk kat belakang ni.
Okay, so what's it like at the back?
Alright. Okay guys, so sekarang aku berada dekat belakang tempat duduk penumpang untuk kereta Yaris ini. So kalau anda lihat, kalau Kon punya position untuk driving dekat sana, so ini adalah ruang yang saya ada dekat side saya. Dan kalau anda lihat, memang luas, lebih daripada sejengkal lah space yang ada ni. Kaki boleh masuk bawah seat. Alright. Memang luas dan dia tak ada macam tunnel untuk drive shaft kat sini.
Ini pasal front wheel drive
sebab dia front wheel drive. So memang ada kereta front wheel drive tapi ada benda tu. Plate tu.
Itu yang dia nak lalu exhaust tu.
Itu yang exhaust tunnel untuk exhaust apa semualah. But basically kereta ni kalau anda lihat memang untuk sebuah kategori kereta yang dikategorikan sebagai B segment. Space kat sini memang luas. For sure, luas.
Tapi what about you punya thigh support? Sokongan paha you?
Untuk thigh support, kalau aku duduk macam orang yang selesa baring apa semua, dia taklah besar sangat. Thigh support tak macam tak adalah panjang sangat. Tapi kalau aku duduk tegak, untuk orang yang corner kau terbaik lah. Macam mana rasa corner dia?
Okey je, tapi cuma kan yang jalur-jalur ni kan dia kacau the grip of the car tau.
Dia kacau grip of the car. But aku dekat belakang ni, dia punya apa nama terbuang tu, kadang-kadang kat belakang kan rasa nak terbuang kan. Disebabkan kereta ini menggunakan fabric, so dia taklah licin sangat. That is one good thing about it.
Actually I prefer fabric seats. Braking dia okay. Dia punya pedal kan, dia agak smooth. Dia predictable. So dia tak tiba-tiba makan. So kalau macam pemandu kan yang dia tak berapa pandai kawal lah, this is very easy sebab dia dia ada kereta kan yang you tekan dia dia tiba-tiba makan tau. Ini dia agak
terkejut
so ini dia agak smooth.
Dia pakai depan dan belakang pakai disc brake.
Yes. Tapi kalau tak silap saya spec J guna drum brake kat belakang. Actually I pun rasa the same tau. It's very good quality. And tapi buat one thing lah, I rasa kalau gelap kan, you rasa you akan ada dapat ilusi kabin sempit tau.
I see.
Warna cerah, you akan rasa kabin luas.
Betul.
Okay guys, so now I'm going to continue on, alright, with driving impressions. And thus far, alright, it feels like a Vios, which is not saying it's a bad thing. Okay, what this means is that the handling, alright, feels competent. Ride comfort to me is pretty impressive, alright, based on the setup. Currently we are driving in Sungai Buloh area and going through somewhat less than pleasant roads.
Jalan jam, jalan tak elok.
Yes, and the suspension quite capably isolates the surface below, alright, so not a bumpy ride at all. And also as per what our findings with the Vios, it is also quieter. The cabin is also very quiet. Alright, noise insulation is very good. Engine performance for town driving, to taking off from the traffic light, the car doesn't feel cumbersome, doesn't feel sluggish. Of course, when you are on the highways, you want to carry extra speed. That is when you that's when you need to put on a bit more revs on the engine to sustain high speeds. The CVT, right? The CVT, as I've mentioned also before, Toyota has very good calibration software of their CVTs. So when you are doing hard driving, fast driving, the CVT is set to behave like a conventional torque converter transmission. Means that it allows your revs to build up, and then it drops the ratio, drops it back to a fixed ratio and builds up again. So it's not like most normal CVTs where it just holds you at that rev and you let and slowly build up your speed. All right, but of course when you drive it sedately, in gentle driving, it behaves as you expect from a CVT. So the overall driving experience of the Yaris, in terms of handling, dynamics, performance, all for this, in the context of this segment, all right, and in the context of what consumers would expect, I would say satisfactory. Okay, so the Yaris from 71,000 ringgit for the 1.5J going up to 84,000 ringgit for the 1.5G is fantastic value for money based on the equipment that you are given. Even at a 1.5J level, you get electronic stability control, you get 7 airbags. You go up to the 1.5E, you get blind spot warning, and 1.5G, you get rear disc brakes. So there's a progressive increase of equipment that commensurates with the price. For my thinking, right, I think the 1.5E would seem to represent the best value for money in the range. Of course, having 4 disc brakes, having auto climate control is important to you, then the 1.5G at 84,000 ringgit is not that big a step up if you split the difference into monthly repayments. All right, so yeah, that is the pick of the range. And just before, all right, we posted on Facebook to ask, all right, if any of you guys have any questions regarding the Yaris. And right now I will just look through and pick a few. Okay, Faiz asked, everything compared to Jazz. Well, our program included a comparison drive review of the Jazz, so yeah, that is covered. Are they available in manual transmission? Not in our market. Okay, possible a Genting drive with a team with some luggage. Wait, have to get the car first. Driving experience compared to the new Vios, which was tested earlier. First impressions feels almost the same, to be honest, right? It is quiet. This is quieter. This car is quieter, more comfortable. Handling also feels more fluid. Yeah, this chassis has this ability to flow its way around bends. So yeah, it is a very fluid, very rewarding chassis to drive. And the only thing is that we can't directly compare because we did not drive the Yaris and the Vios in the same kind of road conditions. But overall, I would say the Yaris, because of its shorter rear overhang, yeah, it has a more nippy feel toward it. But then again, right, overall as a whole, this new generation Yaris and Vios, both of them have turned out to be very, very fine handling cars with respect to the segment. Now, Jeff Ng asked, first, why no manual? Okay, let me just ask you back. Drop a line in the comment section. How many of you would buy if UMW Toyota would offer a manual transmission? Okay. Will they consider bringing in GRMN? Can't answer that. Acceleration response. Well, you wouldn't be stranded in the traffic light lab. All right, it's those typical of this segment, right? On a traffic light, standing start acceleration, car feels like takes off without hesitation. It's just that when you're on highways trying to at the top end, that is when the engine, well, needs to work a bit harder to help sustain high speeds. How does it compare with the Myvi? Well, the Myvi still gives you more in terms of equipment. You get auto start stop, you get auto braking, which you don't get here in the Yaris. But the Yaris feels noticeably one step up in terms of refinement. Yaris or new Iris that is launching tomorrow also? Well, if you're looking for a fun driving hatchback, then the Iris is a good choice, all right? But the Yaris is, I would say, a better choice if you can afford the difference, because you are not just getting a similarly fun hatchback, you're also getting a more spacious hatchback, and one with also better, way better sound insulation and refinement than the Iris. Okay, handling wise, still so Toyota. Actually, current Toyotas handle not bad, no? Is the dark ceiling going to be a burden during hot days? In-cabin insulation compared to Vios, speaker quality. I mean, speaker quality is so only lah. In-cabin insulation, from what I can say, is very effective in isolating road noise as well as wind noise. Okay, certainly when we jumped into the Jazz just now, the Jazz feels noticeably noisier. And Jeffrey Leung, you also highlighted an error in our infographics. All right, thank you so much. That was obviously recycled from the Vios infographic. Okay, Lincoln says, reminds you of the Caldina. Actually, it didn't cross my mind, but now that I look at it, it does actually. The rear styling does resemble the Caldina a little. Question, is it even the same category of the new Myvi? Is Mazda 2 related with new Myvi? New Myvi could not be bare bones of the new Yaris. Yes, I'm lost. Well, nominally they are all B-segment hatchbacks lah. So ease of long-term maintenance, I think Toyota's track record speaks for itself, right? So anyways, these are the selected questions on the new Yaris that I can share with you. All right, guys. So our drive event has come to an end, right? With Fadil here behind the wheel, bringing us back to Shah Alam. All right, and to wrap up, the Yaris. Okay, so now, right, the Honda Jazz finally has a proper mainstream rival, and the many questions that you all will be asking is, what does the Yaris offer that the Jazz does not? Well, let me summarize for you. Yaris to me has a more attractive looking design. It gives you better features, right? So if you go for the top spec Yaris, you get dash cam, you get dimming mirrors, you get blind spot warning, and go straight. Okay, and as standard, all variants get 7 airbags. Okay, yeah, auto climate control. Then you have a colored multi-info display. That the Jazz still only gives you the monochrome display. Okay, so in terms of features, the Yaris gives you more. All right, and price-wise, variant for variant, they are about the same. But now with the Jazz, you also get the option of a hybrid variant. You also get a more sportier RS variant that you have to top up a bit more money to get. In terms of engine performance, the Jazz has the edge on this one. All right, the Jazz engine just simply feels more sprightly, more powerful, and smoother on the move. And the difference is particularly noticeable on the highways. When you're trying to sustain high-speed cruising, the Jazz just simply feels a bit more effortless than the Yaris here. The Yaris feels like you have to and yeah, the engine sounds a bit rough. Okay, the Jazz and the Honda engine just feels a bit more quieter. But speaking of quietness, the Jazz does sound insulation better, so it's quieter on the move, less wind noise, less.
The Yaris.
Yaris, less wind noise, less tire noise, and of course spaciousness, interior spaciousness. This is where Honda really has done very well. They have made, what they have is that the Jazz is a smaller car on the outside, but they have managed to make the Jazz feel bigger on the inside. Kiri bro. Okay, more spacious, and also more effective utilization of small item storage. So in terms of utility factor, the Jazz has it wrapped up, and that's before even we count the immense flexibility that Honda's Ultra seats was it magic seats? Yeah, well, whatever lah, ultra seats have to offer. So all in, between the Yaris and the Jazz, both are very competent rivals, very talented rivals. It boils down to really a question of preference. Okay, I would choose the Yaris on the strength of its driving, because the Yaris chassis to me feels it feels more pliant, more comfortable. Fadil here thinks that the Jazz handles better at high speeds lah. Okay, but I felt that I'm more appreciative of the Yaris's comfort levels, particularly when you were driving over some of the less than perfectly surfaced roads at Janda Baik and all. Yeah, the Yaris's comfort levels really came to the fore, and the features that they have on offer, 360-degree camera, and all that one also swings the pendulum firmly in the Yaris's way. But it's not a straightforward decision, because I really admire the way Honda utilizes its space inside the Jazz, because thinking from a family man perspective, right, the Jazz spaciousness is such an attractive proposition. The way you can fold the seats in infinite directions, and you know, all the utilization of space and all, it's just so clever. Yeah, so at the end of the day, it's a question of choice, and see what are your priorities. I mean, what are the attributes that you prefer in your car?